Welcome to session 3 of module 3, components and hydraulic circuit design components of fluid power engineering for 5th semester mechanical engineering. Subject code is 18ME55. These are the course outcomes. Visualize how a hydraulic or pneumatic circuit will work to accomplish the function. Design an appropriate hydraulic or pneumatic circuit or combination circuit like electrohydraulics, electropneumatics for a given application. Select and size the different components of the circuit. Develop a comprehensive circuit diagram by integrating the components selected for the given application. These are the course outcomes. So these are the contents of this session. We have the previous session we have learned the check valve, directional control check valve. So in this we learn about the check valve, pressure relief valve, pilot operated pressure relief valve, shuttle valve and spool valve, which is also called as sliding spool valve. So these are the contents. So the first one is puppet valve or a puppet check valve. So this figure, there are two figures shows the two positions of a puppet type check valve. Figure shows the operation of a puppet type check valve. So a puppet is a specially shaped plug element held on a valve seat. So we can see it is a valve type. So this figure shows the puppet type check valve. So two positions are shown for the valve. It is a puppet is nothing but a specially shaped plug element. It's nothing but an element held on a valve seat. So initially this puppet will be held in a valve seat by a light spring attached to it. Then the first one, the figure, the fluid flows through the valve in the space between the seat and puppet. So in the first figure we can see in from left side to right side, the flow occurs from left side to right side. So there is a free flow from left side to right side. This puppet allows the flow of fluid in one direction. So the fluid enters from left side and leaves through the other side. So in the free flow direction, the fluid pressure overcomes the spring force. Since the hydraulic fluid it is of high pressure, this overcomes the spring force and enters the valve from left to right. So if the flow is attempted in the opposite direction, so you can see in the figure 2, second figure, if we attempt the flow from the opposite direction, that is from right to left, the fluid pressure pushes the puppet in a closed position. So in the first figure, it is in open position. And if we try to attempt the flow from the opposite direction, that is from left to right, the fluid pressure pushes the puppet in the closed position. Therefore, no flow is permitted. So as the name itself indicates, check puppet valve, that is the puppet type check valve, it allows the flow of hydraulic fluid only in one direction, that is from left to right. So initially the puppet is held on a valve seat by a light spring. Fluid flows through the valve in the space between the seat and the puppet. So in the free flow direction, the fluid pressure overcomes the spring pressure, then the flow occurs. And if we attempt the flow in the opposite direction, the flow pressure pushes the puppet and closes the position. So therefore, the flow is not permitted. In this way, it checks the flow only in one direction. It does not allow the flow in the opposite direction. That is why this type of valve is called as puppet type check valve. Then we have the pilot operated check valve. Figure shows the construction. There are two figures. Figure A shows the construction and working of this pilot operated check valve, and figure B shows the graphic symbol for the valve. So this pilot operated check valve, it has a puppet opens only under spring pilot pressure. Then we have the pilot pressure free flow direction, flow normally blocked, represented by dotted line. So coming to the working, the pilot operated check valve can permit flow in both the directions. So in the first valve, we have seen that flow is blocked in the opposite direction, but the pilot operated check valve, this allows flow of fluid in both the directions. In the normal position, it functions like a check valve, allowing free flow in one direction and blocking the flow in reverse direction. So the first position, it works as a check valve, that is allowing the flow of fluid to in one direction and blocking in the reverse direction. But since it works in both the directions, as a pilot pressure is applied at the pilot port, it opens up the check valve and thus allows flow in the reverse direction also. So to achieve this function, the pilot position is attached to the main poppet valve. The poppet is kept in normally closed position with the help of a light spring. A spring is attached to the poppet, which allows the flow in both the directions. That is in the opposite direction also it allows the flow. That is why it is called pilot operated check valve, permitting the flow in both the directions. So this is the construction and working of a pilot operated check valve, and figure B shows the graphic symbol representing the flow of fluid in both the directions. The graphic symbol shows both the directions flow occurs. So this is the construction and working of a pilot operated check valve. The next is called as shuttle valve. This shuttle valve, the graphic symbol for the shuttle valve is shown. A shuttle valve allows two alternate flow sources to be connected in one branch circuit. So we can see P1 and P2. The valve has two inlets, P1 and P2, and one outlet A. So outlet A receives flow from an inlet that is at a higher pressure. Outlet A receives flow from an inlet that is at a higher pressure. The operation of a shuttle valve, if the pressure at P1 is greater than that of P2, so we have two ports, two inlets, P1 and P2. If the pressure P1 is greater than at P2, the valve slides to the right and allows P1 to send flow to outlet A. And if the opposite occurs, that is, if the pressure at P2 is greater than that of P1, the valve slides to the left and P2 supplies flow to outlet A. So we have two alternate flow sources connected in one branch circuit, two inlets P1 and P2, and both are connected to the outlet. Whichever the pressure is higher, this supplies the flow to the A. If the pressure at P1 is greater, then the valve slides to the right and allows P1 to send flow to outlet. And if the pressure is greater than P2, then the valve slides to the left and P2 supplies flow to outlet A. So in this way, there are two alternate flow sources connected in one branch circuit. This is called as the shuttle valve, and it is represented by the graphic symbol. We can see P1 and P2 as the inlets. Both are connected to outlet A. So next is sliding spool valve. So as the name itself indicates, we have a spool here. In this valve, there is a spool which slides from left to right. So that is why it is called as sliding spool valve. So it is a directional control valve. We have a spool in that valve which slides from left to right and from right to left. It is called as sliding spool valve. So it is a spool is a step machined cylinder member having two or three lands. The lands are machined to those close dimensional tolerances will have a sliding fit in the bore of the valve body. So the openings formed between the lands and the spool act as the flow passages between the connecting ports. So here we can see two figures. So in the first figure we have P1 and P2, wherein P1 is greater than P2. So if P1 is greater than P2, pressure P1 allows the supply to A, and if P2 is greater than P1, P2 supplies to output A. So then next is 3 by 2 sliding spool valve. 3 by 2 sliding spool valve. So this figure shows the sliding spool wall. It is called as 3 by 2 sliding spool wall. So here we have three ports, port 1, 2 and 3, port A and B. So here we have a sliding spool which slides from left to right. So we can see initial position A, then the next position B and the graphic symbol C. Three figures to represent these walls. So port P is open in figure A, that is called as position 1. Port P is open. The fluid is supplied through port P. In operation, in the position 1, the fluid supply under pressure is connected to port A and port P is closed. So initially the supply occurs through port P, port T is closed, and that means pressure now sorry for the interruption. So in operation in position 1, the fluid supply under pressure P is connected to port P and port T is closed. The third port is closed. That means pressure now flows through port A. So as the pressure flows through port A, it activates the device connected in that line. So this is position 1. Then in the next position, when the spool is moved to position 2, the port P is closed. So in the figure, second figure, we can see port P is closed, thereby cutting the supply. Cutting the supply, and while port is open, since there is pressure in the line, pressure is relieved through the port T, and the fluid freely flows out to the sump. So this is called as a 3 by 2 sliding spool valve, since we have a spool inside the valve which slides from left to right. We have two positions here. In the first position, the port P is open and the fluid is supplied through port P, and port A, it is connected to port A. The next position, port P is closed. Then when the spool is moved to position 2, port P is closed. So thereby there is no supply. That is, the supply is, by cutting the supply, port is open. Since there is pressure in the line, pressure is relieved to port T and the fluid flows easily to the sump. And figure C shows the graphic symbol for the same wall. That is 3 by 2 sliding spool wall. Thank you.